Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Fellowship Friday or Fireside Fellowship Friday. I can't even remember it myself. Thanks for being here. We have Rescue, Bonnie, and Bran up here with me. Thankfully, I'm not up here by myself. I'm always worried it's going to happen. Sometime it'll happen, and you'll all see why, because I'll just start rambling like I am right now at you. But I'm just glad we can be here together. Thank you for everybody who's showing up in the chat. I know we have some other people planning to come by too, so we're just going to hang out and see where our Friday night takes us. There seems to be a lot kind of going on in the world. I have been sort of like not diving into things the last few days. I've just been pretty busy with some other things and haven't been able to really like follow up on a lot of the details about some of the stories. So I'm hoping some of those might come up tonight so we can talk about them and you guys can fill me in on what you know. But let me just go through chat and just kind of see who's here and what's going on. Let's see. Hey, Dorinda. Thank you for being here. Anti,
What's up,
thank you for
everybody?
being here and dropping links and all. Ducks, always appreciate your support. Dux is one of like the people that always comes around and leaves a comment after on videos, and she's constantly sharing things out on her community tab. It's really pretty amazing, Dux. You do a great job of supporting great channels. Hey, Virginia, good to see you. Kim, good to see you too. So up on panel, how's your week been? How are you feeling going into the weekend? Hey, John.
Just another day.
Just had a good day, a good rainy day.
Oh, nice. Interesting. We actually have like kind of the second really nice sunny day today. Feels like spring, which is great. Hey, Moose. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Rock steady.
What's everybody? Hopefully, you've made it a good day today.
Yeah. I had a good week with my students. We've just been like we're getting closer to the end of the year, so there's a little bit more push to get through the curriculum and finish some projects and all that stuff. Hey, in chat, if you guys can just let me know if everything sounds okay. I know they set up on panel it does, but last time I had some sound issues that I didn't even notice until after when I listened back. So if there's anything weird with any of our sound that you guys are hearing, I'd appreciate hearing that from you. But how about you, Bonnie? How was your day? How are you feeling going into the weekend?
We just had a severe thunderstorm. Thankfully, there wasn't any hail here, but I was just wondering if it hit Rescue yet.
Well, no, actually, it's stopped. It didn't rain today. It rained. Was it yesterday? I know. One day goes into the next. I think it was night before last. Came through. It's got some rain, but today it didn't. So, and yesterday it did in the morning. That's what it was. It did in the morning, but then it stopped. And then so far nothing. But it's supposed to be like a 50% chance tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Yankee, remind me where you are that you're getting snow. At least a little bit, but still. Yeah, that's how I was feeling too, Dex. It's kind of crazy.
At the end of April. Y'all remember what today's the beginning of? I've been saying prayers that the Holy Spirit just go inside that building and touch their hearts. And
oh yeah, Bonnie, you sent me a link and I haven't been able to watch it, but will you explain what you know about that or what it is? Because I've heard about it, but I haven't been, like I said, I've just been busy. I haven't been able to like stay on top of things really.
I read their latest article. It's called Satan Con, and it's the largest convention yet, and it's being held in Boston. Started today through the 30th, and they have vendors and just some
MSM, thanks for being here. Yeah,
witchcraft stuff, and but they're not. They say they don't believe in Satan. They just do this for whatever reason. So
Not really.
it's-
They're saying that they don't believe in Satan, but they're having the Satan come. That's weird
Yeah.
to me. Hey, Papa and Mr. Smith, glad that you're here. Hey, Elusive, good to see you.
yeah.
You,
So
MSM, good to see you. Sorry, Bonnie, just 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat, and I'll pin it. So if anybody else wants to join, you are more than welcome to come on up. If you do come up, I just need to see your face on camera, at least backstage. You don't have to keep it up. I'll give you a second to pull yourself back down and behind your icon or logo or whatever. But I just need to make sure it's you before I can let you up on panel.
By the
Sorry,
way,
Bonnie.
everybody in chat, go to live chat or all messages. That way you're currently in
Yes.
conversation. And hit the thumbs up button.
Thanks, Rescue. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry. So they're saying, is that really like, that's really like the main platform is saying that they don't believe in Satan, but they're still having the Satan con? That just is really weird to me.
Well, John
It
says
was-
it's an atheist thing to do. It's their way to insult Christians.
and that could be. And so there is a counter, of course. There's a group of Christians that are gathering outside this convention center and praying. And so there possibly could be trouble. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People in Boston, please be safe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, hey, Snooks. Another one who's always out there supporting everybody. Snooks, you're amazing. You know how much I love you. Thank you for being here. Oh, that's Bonnie that's up here, Snooks. Bonnie Phelps, and she's amazing. Has a great channel. I'll make sure I share her link with you, Snooks, if it's not in here. Or I'm sure Anti will. Actually, he's probably already dropped it as I've said this. Anti's on top of things. Hey,
Yes,
Apple Dumpling.
That's great.
Yeah.
Elusive.
Good to
That's
see
true.
you.
Got Papa's Farm. TT1. There's a coop gang.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Smith. Carl.
Yeah.
The gang's all here.
I know. Oh, and I'm way behind in chat. For some reason, my chat just didn't load until just now. So I was like, oh, I'm not too far back. And now I'm like, oh, no, nope, I am. Sorry, everybody. I'll get there. All right. John and Dee, I see you back there. If you want to go off camera, you can. I know you guys are both usually fine with being on camera, so I'm just going to bring you in. All right.
Oh, whoops.
Good to see you.
How's it going?
Dee, yeah, you got it, Dee. I saw you were on it. Thank
Hi,
you.
y'all.
I'm so sorry to be late. Hello, everybody.
Well, you're not late. You're just in time.
Thank
You
you.
just
I was
got
just-
here.
I was just gonna
Thank you, man.
tell Bonnie, because Rescue had mentioned
Thank you,
my
Anti.
comment. I know I've seen this kind of behavior by a lot of people that are in the atheist community. In fact, in our city, it was probably a couple of years now, one of the leading liberal atheist activists had a satanic prayer at our city council meeting. And it was their way of trying to promote this idea of equality of religion. But for a lot of people, there's actually kind of different branches of Satanism and how they appear. There are people who are the true full-on believers, and then you got the people who see Satan to be a representation of like freedom. To them, they see an idea of bucking the system. Some of them, they'll see things like what he did in the Garden of Eden is a kind of like a rebellion against a fascist God who gave an unreasonable request, which I think most people who are reasonable people would see that's not true. but
Well,
yeah,
it
so
was in the midst
there's
of
some
the
of that
garden.
stuff is part of that. So
Yeah.
Just saying, it was in the midst of the garden. There's a little
Right,
bit of funniness there. God's got a sense of humor. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Don't touch it.
right.
We won't. Just saying, and I believe. Okay, I'm a huge believer. Just saying. Just had to say, I think it's kind of needs to be noted. God put the tree in the midst of the garden and told us not to eat it, right? Did do that.
And
So
I think
he's still
that
a good God. He's still a good God. I'm not saying he's
Well,
not.
and we did just fine until all of a
Yeah.
sudden we got encouraged to push that boundary and go, you know,
Yeah. Hold
You
on
can't-
one
That's-
second. 1 second, Rescue. Neil, if you're still here, thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. Neil is one of the first channels that I started modding for way back when, and he still somehow has survived on YouTube.
I was
and
wondering if that was him
He
because I
really-
saw that in
Yeah.
that chat and I'm going, wait a minute, Neil in the north. And I looked
Yep.
at that icon, but it doesn't show very big. And I'm like, nah, I don't.
Yeah.
Nah.
Thanks
Okay,
for
I'll
coming
just-
by. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you said that. Then it kind of like reaffirmed because I didn't want to say that out loud. I wasn't going to go, hey, well, look, there's Neil.
Yeah, his main channel is Neil Johnson, and I can drop it, or if
There we go.
if
See,
Anthony
that's-
doesn't want that one. But yeah. And
Who was the
Queen, thank
man
you for being here. Good to
that I
see
just-
you.
interrupted so rudely. Who is the man that I was just talking to that just put his camera? What's his name?
Was it Rescue or
Oh,
was it
John.
John?
No, I know Rescue. Who's
Okay,
under
yeah.
Rescue?
John.
Hey,
John.
Sip.
Hey, John. I meant nothing to debate with you about. I was just kind of
You're,
engaging.
you're, you're good. Yeah. No, I'm just trying to make
I
some
love Jesus, God,
inference that
Yahweh. Yeah.
right. I'm just trying to make some reference because I think, in fact, actually, there are a lot of Satanists that got really pissed off with that Netflix show Sabrina because it shows the deeper levels of that, where you have to take like the black baptism and all that kind of stuff, and so they don't
Christina.
like a lot of that stuff. They like to be able to kind of have, I think some of the deeper ones like to have it kind of memed out that it's a bunch of atheists, feminists, vegetarian type people who just are about free will. That's kind of what they want people to believe. And funny enough, I think it is something that is those people who believe that are unaware of just how huckstered they are by the whole thing.
They are. They absolutely are. It's our job to let them know too, because they're certainly deceived by gods of old. Molech and Baal are not new.
Good
They've
to
been
see you,
around a
Pearl.
long time, and they want it to be a religion. And that's what I was advised by D-Dog. Never give them that. It's not a religion. You don't get to have a religion. What you do is evil. And we're not going to allow that to be, a religion, please.
Yeah. Snooks, I like what you said here. If they don't believe in Satan, they wouldn't be promoting it. I mean, that's just obvious to me too.
Right.
Yes.
TT1, good to see you.
Well,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
again, it goes back to the same
Sure.
thing, which is to them,
Good to see you again.
Satan kind of represents this idea of the depraved, like rebel renegade type thing. And it's why they do the things that they do. Like, that's why, like you guys heard about, I don't know how long ago it happened, but I've just read about it, where Kirk Cameron was having like a story hour somewhere at an event, and some trans person came in dressed up like the satanic nun and trying to just walk around and, so at some point, like these people, it's kind of deprived of how they can be about it, but it's kind of also this thing.
Can I add something to that non thing?
Good to see you, DS.
Here in Humboldt County, there's a group, and we did a little bit of tiny vetting and found out they're quite large nationwide, called the Sisters of the Perpetual Indulgence. And they have names like Sister Juana Little, WUAN, Juan A Little, and Big Bad Wolf and all this stuff. It's unbelievable how in their face, that was the drag show that I was standing up at. They're having one tomorrow, and my friend is trying to jimmy up some support for it. And I know God told me I've done enough. I'm not going to any more drag shows. Like, it's time for the pen, and it's time to deal with these people properly. There's such a thing as mandated reporters. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because they're a nationwide group. And if you got men dressing up like nuns, they're called Sisters of the Perpetual Indulgence. And you can
they have a branch, I think, here in Seattle too.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure Seattle and Portland are kind of going to be some
Oh,
hubs for them.
they actually, yeah, it's all of like Washington, Oregon, and California have literally formed an alliance. They're not even hiding it.
Right.
And what they do is mock our God is the thing.
And that's
Like,
what it is, and that's what it comes
that's all
out to.
they
And
do. Yeah.
and and I can understand why I disagree with them about why they would be like agnostic. But if you were like a true atheist, I think you'd be kind of truly agnostic. You'd be like, I just don't know. But when you get to this point where you become like so militant against religion, and again, you'll notice that it isn't every religion; it's just Christianity that that they seem to have the issue with.
Right.
See, and
That's-
most of their hate is even misguided just for the fact of I know a lot of conversations I've run into when you have the church talk or the religion talk, it's usually based off of one denomination, one experience. It's like, well, I went to the Catholic Church. Like, so well, there's all kinds of denominations. So it's
right.
That's that. Well, and I will say, just because younger years and stuff, when it comes to the devil, basically, we'll just say that. So with God, you have so many denominations and variations of a belief in him, and it gets sprung out. The same exists on the other side. The one thing that gives the other side a little bit more is that it's that annoying. It's that kid that wants to just thump on you because he just wants to annoy you. Well, they'll gather with those people. Well, they don't really believe it, but they know it bothers the shit out of you, so they'll do it just because. That's the sad part, because it's so easy to do wrong. It's hard to do the right thing, and it takes effort. It takes conscious thought. It takes focus, and that's why it's so easy to step away.
I think that's why we put the armor on, and to protect from that, so that mentally, spiritually, we're still connected, and we don't let that come in.
The one thing that we have to remember is
God,
God does not need anybody to defend him. What he does require of us is to spread the good news, you need to live and let me tell you, in this last, I would say at least the last 6 months,
hey Nora,
we can see numerous amounts of people mocking God, and then something extremely drastic happens to them.
Yes.
It's we talk about that hand of God moment. Well, this is the thing: it's not necessarily a hand of God that the entire nation sees in 1 second. It is going to be a hand of God moment for each individual person.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. It just, to me, that makes sense that that's how it would be.
Right.
I mean,
it's like
I'm not saying that there's not going to be
anyway.
something that people are going to freak out about. Okay. That, or anything like that. But I've come, because I've come to understand with the games that have been played over these last 7 years. Okay. Because, whether you know it or not, this has been going on for 7 years, this battle. Okay. Whether anybody wants to recognize that or anything, it's the idea that, if we look at all these people who have literally mocked God on TV, they're all gone.
Yes.
They're all gone. They're no longer in the limelight. Half of them have lost their fortunes. They've lost marriages. They've had their children taken away, or they have lost their lives. And this is the thing is, if you mock God and you don't get right with God before you die, I guarantee you that heaven is not going to be a place that you're going to see. It's
don't want it here. That was your choice. They didn't want it. Right.
Well, and I do think that some of these people who openly mock it, because I looked when I was in the hospital in February, and there wasn't a lot to watch on the TV except for like the Super Bowl, and I'm watching the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I've never seen such a display of open mockery of God, of such a flamboyant kind of praising of Satan in that whole thing, and to me, I go, you ask yourself, because we always knew it was kind of underlined, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't like. We never think about about some of the stuff that has been put out there. Like, for example, those of you who know anything about film history or Hollywood history, Hollywood's always been depraved. And if you don't believe me, just do a little research in a guy named John Huston.
Oh yeah, and Houston's father, yes.
Yeah, and his connection to who a lot of people believe, even the guy's son, was the Black Dahlia killer, who was running an illegal abortion clinic in LA, which the LAPD was supporting and making money off of in the 40s.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, they were bringing women. They were bringing hookers to them.
Yep, and he had that mansion. He had the mansion. That's that famous mansion in Hollywood. In what is it? The hills there, right? Or
Beverly Hills,
Laurel Canyon.
He was also on what's his name? Crowley, Aleister Crowley's top 20 list. Yeah. He was in the top 10 of the top 20 that Aleister Crowley had listed. There was a bunch of them. Cecil DeMille was another one. Even though, and this is what's crazy, is Cecil B. DeMille is the one who created, I would say, probably 80% of every religious movie. Yep. Ben-Hur.
Well, and if you think about it, like the big one that Cecil B. DeMille did was the Ten Commandments. That was a big one. But but John Huston was also. Remember, especially those of you who were around. I was not even born in the 70s yet, but you remember they had the Bible movie that John Huston directed and he narrated.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, so the point of it is these people hide behind that kind of thing. But there was that designer, there was that painter. I'm trying to think of his name, and he was a real like weirdo type person, and he would go
Andy Warhol.
No. This is before. This is in the 40s.
Another weirdo.
Yeah. Let me look it up. I gotta look it up.
A lot of them out there, you never know.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol was a special
kind of freak. Ultra MAGA Patriot for Life, or FJP. I'm Indy. Glad you're here.
But the thing is, they're not hiding it anymore. They used to try to keep it a little more undercover, and now it's just right in our face.
Yes.
Glad you're here, Sip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to checking out your channel.
Crusader. Now the question is.
Oh, Dank. Good to see you.
Dank are you talking about?
Dank, we know what you are talking about. We're not stupid on the West Coast here.
Right.
Especially Humboldt and Oregon. We know.
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, that's another part of our alliance. That part I'll accept.
Take it outside. Okay. I don't want to hear it.
Nice, Carl. Yeah, absolutely. We need to be praying. We need to be praying a lot. Agreed. Pray without ceasing, as a matter of fact.
And we have to remember to pray for the one thing that Christ asked us to pray for.
Our enemies.
And that was our enemies. Exactly.
Yeah.
We have to remember to pray for our enemies, because if they can be brought to see the light, then we have achieved exactly what he wanted. The same time we love our neighbors and show respect and kindness and caring to them, we do the same thing with our enemies. And in doing so, we are fulfilling what he asked. What's that?
Man Ray was a famous photographer I was talking about. You guys?
Not Salvador Dali.
He was a big one during the Second World War.
Right. Because this is what I'm talking about, was when they had this the abortion racket in LA that the police were benefiting from, and Man Ray was best friends with the guy I'm talking about, the guy that a lot of people suspect was the Black Dahlia killer, because he was a famous abortion doctor. And they would go to his house and they were like molesting kids, and they were like taking pictures of people. And John Huston was in one of those photos, and they would all have these swinger parties. In fact, the guy that was the suspected Black Dahlia killer, him and his old wife and John Huston's second wife, I mean, they switched wife. I mean, you could just see how depraved these people are, is my point on that. But they're more emboldened now, I think, because they are getting more and more closer. I think the time, we know this from 2 Thessalonians that as the the age of lawlessness comes, the more and more emboldened they become, to which things that are not holy become so, everything that is related to the man of lawlessness, which some people call the Antichrist, he'll be raised above that, or they will be raised above that. And I think what we're seeing is these people know that they're close to that time and they're excited about it. But deep down, they have to know also that their time's coming to an end. because anyone that truly knows exactly what's going on knows that's the case. And I do believe that as that happens, we're going to see less and less and less. And the Bible tells us, like, not only will God kind of remove himself from the world in the sense of his Holy Spirit being working in the world, but he'll also send a great delusion, is what 2 Thessalonians says. So there's a lot of people. That's why it's important now to know the truth. It's why it's important now to believe the truth. It's why it's important to affirm that truth now, because it's going to get harder each day if we get closer,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people given over to a debased mind already, which is what God said he would do, is he will give them over to their debased mind. And we're seeing it. They're so debased, they want to come around and do lewd acts around other people's children, because they ain't got their own children, because they killed their own children and made sure they were sterilized in a lot of cases. These type of people, they're insane. They're just insane. Yeah. That's the world. And we're supposed to look different than the world. And if people aren't looking different now, I'm sorry. You're the world then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really fast, FJB. It is good to, or maybe, I don't even know, you guys. I can't even tell you, because I literally did not realize that says FJB and that's what that is. Ultimaga Patriot. Sorry. Yeah, we're neighbors. I'm in Washington State also. Yeah, I don't even know. It's a Friday. What can I say? Yeah. And then Justin, thank you for being here. But yes, Jay Inslee is horrible. He is a horrible person. He's 100%, whatever you want to call it, deep state cabal evil. And he's a tyrant who's running our state. So it's, it's a lot of fun over here.
I have to ask you, Indy, does this guy look like the kind of guy that you would think is, that's the Man Ray guy? I mean, he looks every bit of sinister that he is.
Well, ironically, I think he looks a little bit like Jordan Peterson, but I like Jordan Peterson, so
not too much though. He doesn't to me.
Maybe it's about a half an inch tall on my computer right now, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's just got that long Slavic face,
I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Inslee in regards to the Second Amendment and stuff, which there's a large group of veterans up there that are being extremely put out by it. I'm hoping to see class action suits, instead of just regular lawsuits, one person or two people suing. They need to get class action suits going, where you got thousands and thousands of people, along with experts and everything else going down the line, because it's so disappointing, that mainstream media gets away with the fact of this, the gun did this, the gun did that. No, the gun didn't do it. It was the individual, with a mental disability, that basically, has done these things. And, we're seeing this all over the country. And that's why I said, it's going to boil down to that hand of God moment for each person. Instead of, large swaths of people seeing things, not that those things would not be awe-inspiring, but would turn people back to the book. It's back to the living word, and back to have his face shine upon them, but it for so many people, it's going to take that hand of God moment to snap them out of the crap that they're in. And it's disappointing to have to see it go this far, and to see how it's affecting all of our communities, because it is. At the same time, there's been such an infiltration into our communities that has that same hint of evil to it. You know, that is, um, it's. I'm not going to say that it's awe-inspiring because you know that gives credit to the devil, but in some senses, for their side of it, that's exactly what it is. It is awe-inspiring for them. You know, so it gives them the nerve to want to go out and try and do something even bigger, and then bigger, and then bigger.
Yeah.
You know, but I believe that us standing fast in the living word, and utilizing the living word in order to, you know, deflect and defend ourselves, that in the long run, that hand of God moment will be shown to more people than, you know. I think that the people who claim to be atheists and agnostic or whatever, I believe that that is going to end up being a very large change in this country, because of that hand of God moment, and they will know. They will know, you know, that this could not have happened without him. You know,
Right.
and honestly, if we look at everything for the last 7 years, what we are seeing today and what we're comprehending, understanding, learning, and absorbing, allowing us to educate, is a hand of God moment in itself.
Yes.
Oh, people are going to have to get focused back on a moral compass, and it's going to have to be stop playing into the actual all the worldly events and all the emotional stuff, and it's the simplification, and it's the focus of the relationship with God. And it's just really, if you focus on that relationship and you start altering your day-to-day life to fit into the nature. And it's a good old classic thing, and I kind of hate to do some of them corny ones, but it's like if you go to have a conversation with somebody, if you think that Jesus is standing right next to that person while you're having a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I would say, I think an important part in today's age, just because I do live not very far from Joel Osteen, and I feel for every time I think of that stadium filling up, it's just kind of wow, what a herd of confused people.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
And YouTube offers so much more, even because you get channels just popping up everywhere. But it's people got to you got to put in work. There you've got to do something, because that's what me and the missus talking about, because I worry about there's so much get used to the talk and the verbal game and the word game. Well, we can make this sound good and none of that's going to matter. It's the soul, and it's what's the true character of the nature of that person.
Well, I mean, and even Jesus himself says there's going to be a lot of people that will come to him and say, "We did this in your name. We did this in your name." And you know, I found someone. I'm on a group on Facebook. That's I don't know if you guys know who Alistair Begg is.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like a community page and they share like lots of memes and quotes and all that stuff. And I found something in this page, and I liked it, and it was, believing in God is not faith. Believing God is, and I think that's because the Bible says even the demons know who He is.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so believing God, meaning you trust in God and you know that everything He says and everything He has put together and everything that He's done for you, you trust in that. And I think a lot of people, to be honest with you, and I've always gotten kind of some pushback from some Christians, you know, my fellow Christians on this, because we've always kind of said, you know, and I'll be honest with you, you know, when we see some of these generational shifts, you know, and you know, there's a lot of people going, I just wish we were back in the 50s. And I'm like, well, there was a lot of problems back in the 50s too. And I think that what had happened was we actually culturalized Christianity, not giving it an authentic voice, not being up, but it became this idea. And it's not that it was a bad thing, because it still had something more than what we got now, which is, you know, an idea of guiding principles of morality. But I think what happened is when Christianity becomes just a culture, then it's going to not be a culture which people want to engage in, because culture by its very definition has to offer something that stimulates you, that excites you, and sometimes being
a different kind of high.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny, because I was thinking about this watching like the Jesus Revolution movie, and thinking about how in a lot of ways, you know, and this is just my own personal view of it, I feel like
Glad you're here, Elsa.
like like a lot of the baby boomer Christians who really needed that for the Jesus revolution for that time
Mhm.
don't understand why
Thank you.
generation
Hey, Clay.
millennials and not younger
He's
don't
sitting here.
respond to that. And again, it's where we get to this point where we start thinking about Christianity and culture, and I think we need to like think about these things in more terms of their truth and the fundamental truths that
I'm really gone.
transforms time.
So
I have something to say if I could.
good.
So you want to go? Thank you. I think that Hollywood did a lot more shaping than Christians. I watched sports also firsthand come in and divide churches because I was a Wednesday night churchgoer for many years. And they started doing sports practices and games on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings when they darn well knew that Christians were going to church. And that's when another time Christians did not stand up. And we haven't been shaping our culture. That's something that I definitely try to do. I see a lot of us doing that here. We're just trying to bring our culture because a lot of us just live in the hills and want to be left alone, but they're at us and they're not going to stop. And we have to stand up and push back and speak the truth.
Right.
And it's beyond time because the people that have been doing it, quite frankly, I'm tired of getting my ass kicked out there.
Yeah, I know. Dee, you do so much. You inspire. I know a lot of people. I know I'm not the only one, but you and I know you've learned a lot from D-Dog, and I just am so impressed with how much action you're taking.
And you and Rescue, we all learn from each other different things. We all have different talents to bring here, and we're not supposed to look like each other. We're supposed to bring our perspective and our different kind of talents. And we've been doing it for 3 years. A lot of us known each other for 3 years.
As long as we're keeping his word solid, it doesn't matter what we're like, individual personality wise and everything else. As long as we're putting his message out there as his message, not our message about it.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm gonna use a prime example for you. Okay. I spent a lot of time in the Word lately. I've had a lot of time with running on a little generator and all that. Where I just shut the generator down, everything else is turned off. The only thing I got to read is the good book and Kid by the Side of the Road, which I've read already 25 times. I'd say I'm not interested in reading that again. However, I use it as a point of reference with a lot of people. The two witnesses, okay, that will come to herald in the time that the Antichrist rises. Now, if we think about the two witnesses, do we think of them as just two people standing there at the temple, or do we realize that the two people, the two witnesses, are two solid fig trees? Okay. One is America and the other is Israel. Okay. And it is our witnessing, sharing our testimonies that bring more people to Christ and to the Father. Okay. So if we stop thinking of the two witnesses as two single individuals and we ourselves become the witnesses, then we are in fact heralding the time of his return and the time of 1,000 years of peace and the destruction of evil as we know it. And even parts of it that we don't even know about yet, because if you think about it, even if you've been in it since the beginning, 7 years ago is what I call the beginning of this period that we're in right now. Not that I didn't know about things before that and talk about those things before that for probably 25 years. I think I've known that the world was screwed up since I was about 21. And my second tour being overseas, I began to see things and understand things. And I already knew about the evil because of being a child that was trafficked. So I understood that kind of evil. I knew that kind of evil was going on. And I tried to tell people about that evil, from the age of 12 until I was in my, in my 40s, and I would talk so seriously to people to get them to understand that there are so many evils that you do not see or even in this moment know about. But you think about what you've learned and seen in these last 7 years, okay? And I'm specifically using that 7 years because we saw that we began to see things a couple of years before Trump even went into office. We really began to see crimes, outright crimes. We began to see a lack of protection for for the American people in regards to immigration laws,
Mhm.
and
Taxes, the
border,
IRS.
border
Yeah.
crisis, and
IRS.
everything else.
I will say that 2014 to me is when I feel like there was a huge shift into things, because you saw, especially with the rise of BLM, you saw the rise of the kind of what kind of early on what Jordan Peterson was fighting with, which was, this kind of infantile entitlement in colleges and all that.
Antifa emerged.
Red
and
diaper
they-
doper babies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Red diaper doper babies.
What was
but
it?
it's
What is that, Dee?
Red diaper doper babies, baby. Who knows who used to talk about red diaper doper babies? I know Hawk knows.
I've
You
never
know.
heard of it.
Michael Savage.
Michael Savage.
Oh,
He was savage.
Warning, adult. What was psychological nudity? That was the thing he'd always say at the
Oh, he
beginning of the
was
show.
good. I
Psychological
liked him.
nudity, yeah.
Well, okay. So can I respond to Ultra real quick?
Hold on
Can you
one
pull up that
second.
last comment?
Yeah, but hold on one second. I saw that Dom was in the chat earlier, and Dom, if you're still around, I think the link is pinned, but if you're able to come up, I would love some music up here. Mr. Smith, if you're able to come up, that would be great. Just saying.
So
or anybody else out there who would like to come up too. Okay, go ahead. So it says,
I
did you
wanna
know that
touch on
Trump
what
wasn't a
Ultra-
Christian until he was president?
That is 100% correct. But I actually remember Kim Clement's prophecy when it was televised back in 2013. Okay.
What are your thoughts about Kim Clement's talk?
I think that Kim Clement has been 100% spot on.
Yeah, I have
100% spot on. It's
I'm not familiar with that with that prophecy.
He's the one that had the prophecy about the two presidents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's passed. He's no.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
died.
It's
Okay, gotcha.
But the reason why I say he's been 100% spot on is there were a couple of times that I thought that part of the certain part of the prophecy had been fulfilled, but then realized that no, that wasn't. This is actually the time that it was fulfilled. That's basically no different than that. That one lettered board. There are times that where you can look at those and say, okay, well, that just happened. But then something comes along 6 months later that takes you right back to that spot and said, oh, yeah, that is definitely 100% of exactly what they were talking about.
Okay, but can I say something about that? So
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, how do I say this? Because you're not gonna like it. But
well, anyway,
yeah, I am. I'm saying it. So
anything.
My gut reaction about Kim Clement is that he was planted back then. I think this is such a long-term plan that can't be knocked out. And I will say, I grew up in a church where, like, if you lifted your hands, it would be like people would look at you funny. Like, it's not like a, raise your hands and praise the Lord type church. So that's outside of my wheelhouse, which could be part of it. So I'm addressing that. But when I watched his prophecies, it feels so mega churchy slimy to me that I can't. It does not have any ring of truth with it to me. I can be wrong. So I'm not trying to absolutely offend. I just, to
No,
me,
I
that
feel
was
that way. I do feel that way. I know what he prophesied, but I've watched some of his stuff, and I feel the same way. I'm not into charismania, but I do
yeah,
believe in prophecy, and I
right.
just honestly don't know. But
Well,
I do.
exactly. And because that, like I said, that's not what I'm the most comfortable with. So I addressed that that could be part of it for me. And I do absolutely believe in prophecy. But I also think we need to be mindful of things like, okay, so like Mr. Smith was talking about 1984 and Brave New World and their authors, and that, back then they were hearing about all the basically the eugenics movement around their dinner tables. So when they wrote those novels, part of the reason they're now seeming to come to fruition is because that was plans that were put in place way back then. And I believe that that's the case. So to have a prophecy that is talking about this two sides that they're forcing us all into right now, to me, it was just laying the foundation for this. And so that they could come back to it later and be like, oh, look, it's fulfilling prophecy, Well, I just
Right.
don't buy it.
It's
So,
possible.
Hawk, I am open to hear
all the
your thoughts on this.
Yeah, there you go.
This is okay.
He's
So this
great
is
to
my
debate.
so this is my thing. It's never the preacher, it's never the minister, it's never the TV guy. Okay,
Yeah.
it's only the message that comes. You know, so
Right.
for me, it's like okay,
true.
when I was a kid, uh, uh, you know, growing up in Detroit back in in the 1960s, there was a minister on TV by the name of Rex Humbard.
I remember that name.
Okay, so it's kind of like the I think the Gaithers out of Tennessee is a good comparison, because the entire family sang, you know, uh,
Mhm.
and stuff like that,
I like
So
you too, Tim.
so I was,
Keep guessing,
I was
Ed.
a third of youngest of 14, so I was always in trouble.
Mhm.
Even
That
even if
doesn't surprise me, Hawk.
even if I wasn't doing anything wrong, I was always in trouble. I
Mhm.
spent, I would say, probably from the age of 3 to the age of 6, standing in the corner at the fireplace, and the TV was directly behind me. So
Bonnie, you're the sweet.
90% of the time when I when I turn on a TV show, or I turn on a music show, or I turn on a podcast, 90% of the time I'm not even looking at the screen, because I'm not interested in the visual. I'm interested simply in the message.
Mhm.
You know? Now, when I heard, okay, not saying listen to, because listen to is going in one ear and out the other. Heard means that you're actually paying 100% attention to that voice
Awesome, Sean.
and that message, and you're absorbing that message in its entirety, instead of just picking out clips that you like.
Mhm.
Okay, because when you're listening, it's like driving down the road, with the radio on, and there's maybe one song out of 10 that all of a sudden you crank it up a little bit and you're singing along. You're hearing right then. Okay, the rest of the time you're just listening, because it goes in one ear and out the other. Okay,
Mhm.
and with Kim, what I found was, and this is particularly linked to the 2007, 2009, 2011, and 2013, 1 hour of Kim Clement, videos that I have found, and
Hey, Hawk,
and
give me one sec. I just wanted to tell everybody because, hey, Indy, my granddaughter came, so I'm going to actually jump
Okay.
off and
Yeah,
kind
thank
of
you
hang
so
out. And
much
I
for
want to
coming
visit.
up.
It's good to see you,
So,
Rescue.
just tell everybody, y'all make your evening a good evening.
Love you
Be
to
sure and
pieces,
hit the thumbs
Rescue.
up. Thank
Love
you,
ya.
ma'am.
Go
Don't
enjoy.
forget, all messages are live chat, guys. That way you're current in the conversation. Y'all
Have a good night.
Peace.
so I keep these journals, about everything that I hear, not what I was listening to, but what I heard. And when the first prophecy that I heard from him was in 2007, and I wrote a bunch of stuff down, and because I, as just coming out of the military, only being fresh home for a couple of years, my mind really keyed in on those particular words, and I was like, oh, okay, hold on, who is this guy, and I continued to listen, and I filled up a quarter of a journal in that 1 hour video of him in 2007. And I put a marker in the book and everything. And then about a week later, I think it was Monty who sent it to me. It was either Monty or it was Rage in a Cage. One of the two of them sent me the 2009 prophecy. Now that was, I had already seen the 2013 and I had already seen the 2011, but I didn't really take notes on those because of the fact that, I just didn't see Donald Trump becoming, running for president, it seemed to me that, because of the Apprentice show and all that stuff, I was kind of like, I kind of, doubt that. I was kind of thinking more on the lines, maybe he was talking about Ivanka at first, but then, so I watched this one in 2009 and I filled the rest of that journal from that 1 hour and it was an hour and 10-minute long video. Mm-hmm. And what I did was I listed things that I already knew that was going on. And then the prophecy as it was inherently, visual and visually attachable, that basically I could draw a line with an arrow on each end and say, this is regarding this, this is regarding this. And I was really surprised at how accurate it was. So I went back to the beginning of that journal and I went through that first one from the 2007. And again, I was able to draw lines. And I was like, okay, I've got to watch the 2011 and the 2013 again. So I watched them again. And as I was drawing the lines and attaching, a Trump commercial came on TV. And I looked at the screen, while Kim Clement was talking in the background. And he was doing a speech at a military school, one where it's a military high school, not like West Point, but before that. And he was talking about business and, going out from, graduation and getting into the working world. Sometimes it's not always best to go right to college. Sometimes it's more important to gather a trade first and then go for higher education as you go along. So that way then you were always able to pay for yourself as you went along. And I was listening to, or reading his speech, with the closed caption on TV at the same time that I was listening to Kim Clement. And the farther it got into his speech, the farther I realized that Kim was actually talking about this man. And I didn't understand it because, he just signed a contract for the next year of Apprentice and everything else. And I'm like, whoa, I don't see where all this is, coming in. And then that's when I learned about central casting. Indeed, learned a little bit about central casting. And so I wanted to share that. And I was like, that's when I discovered central casting. And when I looked at it, I saw where somebody else was going to come in on The Apprentice and that Donald Trump was going to step away from it. And, I said it to a couple of people. I said, I said, Trump's not going to be on it this time. And they're like, no way. And who was on there? Schwarzenegger. So it was like instead of Trump. And then less than a year later, Trump, throws his hat in the ring for president, pulls the escalator. So at that moment there, I realized that, either number one, and I think the same way on the same wavelength as you do, Indy, on a lot of things, that these people were taught their lines ahead of time. Mm-hmm. and that everything has to unfold like this because that's what it gives everybody that great awakening, thing. It was when they talked about, I'm going to give you a new David to slay that Goliath, that I realized that just wasn't from central casting. You know what I mean? Because central casting controls all of that, all of that, everything that you see and hear, whether it be radio or TV or film. Central casting, and let me tell you, the extent that central casting is involved in our politics.
Right? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just think a lot of it is planted. I really do. So, I mean, even to the point of Trump, but I'll save that for another stream to offend the other half of you. Hey, Clay, glad that you're here.
How y'all doing?
Speaking of central casting, I've seen this video on Facebook, and it said that Joe Biden is central casting from Hot Shots, the Lloyd Bridges character. And I'm like, you know what? That actually makes some sense because he says things like "man" and he's always falling off the airplane, and like I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
15th, I just want to say, hold on one second, John. 15th, the link, I think, is it pinned? You guys tell me in the chat. It's showing up pinned on mine, but up at the top, the link is pinned to come up on StreamYard if you're able to come up and play. Clay just came up. I'm hoping he's going to play for us here. And
is my audio okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Okay. It's just okay.
It's
Sean,
just okay.
really fast. Sean Stryker. I am, after this, I am planning to end when Clay, Conspiracy Music here, goes live at, 10 p.m. Eastern, and send people his way. But I'll be kind of poking around after that. And if you're live, I would love to come over. I know I always love, I love your show, your show, if you want to call it that. I love when you go and have panels, a lot of really great information and great conversations. So I always try to catch you when I can. All right. Sorry about that. Okay.
Hi, Clay.
How you doing?
How's your week been, Clay?
Oh, it's been good. It's been pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, you've been busy. I've seen you all over the place.
Yeah, well, I try.
Yeah.
If there's a music show or something to do with music, I try. And if that's not, then I go there and try to make it about music.
Perfect.
Anyway.
Make it musical. All right. Are you ready to play for us now?
I am ready to play.
Fantastic. Okay. If the panel can go ahead and mute, I will put Clay up on full screen. And what are you playing for us, Clay?
This is an original collaboration between me and my friend Jack Hunter.
Oh, nice.
It's still in the works, so it's not. I haven't laid down any permanent tracks for it yet, so I'm still playing with it. So.
All right.
But it's titled "Make You Cry." like that.
Something like that. Love it. Clay, that was awesome. Every time you play, it's like I just go into a trance. I think you're MK Ultraing me, Clay. No, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for playing.
Oh,
And
thank
look
you.
at here, we have Mr. Smith. Thank you so much for up and being here.
You're welcome.
What
How
up,
are you
Mr.
doing?
Smith? How you doing, bro?
How are you doing?
Good
How
to
was
see
your
you,
week?
Clay. Yeah, good, thank you. Not so bad. I think I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
all
gonna
right.
say, I can hear that.
And did I get your colours right? I think I've got the colours right for your logo.
Oh, I love
think you
it.
do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hold on, I'm putting you on big screen. Let me see that. That's so cool. Oh, I almost kicked you from the stream.
Thanks.
That's awesome. I love that you did that. That's fantastic.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's great. Well, while you're up here, you want to play?
Yeah, go on then. I'll just do it straight away. Why not?
All right.
Let's just do it.
Fantastic.
Okay. What's this? I don't even know what this is called. What's it called? I'll press play and find out.
We're here for
The
it.
human species, we as a species, we have this gift of empathy. We can be kind. It's because we have this gift, we have this ability to feel empathy and to be kind to other people. The strongest people I know are also the kindest people I know. You become strong from being kind.
Take me to the river, lay me down, rest my head by peaceful waters. Take me to the river, lay me down, take this burden from my shoulders. Take me to the river, lay me down. Give my head some sense of order. Take me to the river, lay me down. Rest my head by peaceful waters. Getting kinda heavy, carrying this load, stretching out for me up the road. I'm feeling kinda weak now, crushed by the gravity of love. Take me to some new place, lay me down, rest my head by peaceful waters. Take me to the river, lay me down. Give my soul time to collect its thoughts. Take me to the river, lay me down. Give my head some sense of order. Take me to the river, lay me down. myself, it's just a case of letting go, letting go. Every day my heart just tells my head you can't let go. It's getting kinda heavy, carrying this load, stretching out before me. I'm feeling kinda weak now, crushed by the gravity of love.
That is amazing. I could just listen to you forever. It's incredible to listen to you play and sing.
Well done.
Even I couldn't listen to me forever. I get fed up after about 5 hours of drums. You know.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I love
You're
the
welcome.
colors. I really do love that. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. It's quite funny looking at it, to be honest, up here. I just need the I need a big wrench in my hand, don't I?
Right?
Hey, it was a great stream you had earlier. Great practice stream you had earlier.
Yeah, it
Thanks,
was.
Clay. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was nice to sort of, I think, show people a bit of the workings out and the fact that it's not always by any means very good,
Mhm.
you know. And it takes a lot of work to get some of these tracks together, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody coming in chat. I've seen lots of people coming over from the music community, and I'm just really glad that you're here. Megan, thanks for coming over. I saw Amy's here, Kim,
Hi, Megan.
Jorge, 15th, Queen Bee.
I seen Sip. I seen Sip
Mhm,
out
Sip.
there as well.
Yeah. 15th was in
Sip,
here,
hi,
which is
Sip.
amazing. Yeah, Dom was here earlier too. Like I'm just so grateful that you're all coming and hanging out. It's great. It's an
Dom's
honor to have
probably
you all.
probably getting ready for the big show.
Right? I know. I'm excited for it too, Clay.
What time does it start, Clay?
10 p.m. Eastern. It's
Right,
my
cool.
normal time.
Yep.
For my
Yep.
normal time show. So yeah, I
Yeah.
got I think 4 or 5 premieres that I'm doing tonight, as well as it's gonna be a bunch of live music as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Goodness.
I'm excited.
Anti says, "Wait, did Mr. Smith just fish for a wrench?" I don't think that's
No,
what he's going for.
no. It was simply for the imagery, Anti. It was simply for the imagery.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Anti, for posting Clay's link. Yeah, everybody make sure you go over and hit the notification, but I'll be ending at 10 so we can head his way.
You want to hear another one?
Garrett, good to see you. Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep the music going as long as you guys are up here to play, for sure.
All right. This
Right.
is a
Heck.
this is a soulful mellow groove. It's a backing track in B minor. It comes from a chunk called Elevated Jam Tracks, and I'm kind of digging what they're putting down. Some of you may have heard this one before. Something like that.
Something like that. I love it. I'll always take something like that, Clay. It's great. I like that. The Sip says, am I saying that right? You know maybe Sip better than I do, but I'm assuming it's Sip. Says, let it sing. Love it.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Clay.
You
All right, let me
bet.
bring it back so we can see everybody here.
Clay,
Yeah, you guys just mellow it all out. I love it.
Clay, you know Deeds is selling your merch through his shop thing or whatever it is, whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have you got a something like that hoodie?
Not yet. I'd have to talk to Deeds about that. We've got to get together and talk about expanding my merch.
Yeah.
Okay, because the moment you get a black something like that hoodie, I will purchase that.
Excellent.
Good call.
I think a bunch of us would.
I think I've sold 4 or 5 T-shirts, something like that.
Cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it me then?
I mean, I don't know, honestly, Clay. I can't tell if I'm saying it more now because you say it all the time, or if I just notice now whenever I say something like that, I'm like, wait.
So is the
But either way,
merchandise through your channel,
brilliant.
or is there a separate one?
Yeah, it's a separate one. It's I go through my friend has his own website, and he's already got his merch site set up. So me and another guy found it easier just to, I'd rather kind of go with the small guy and have my merch, through him, because he makes it himself from home. He's got his own press and everything. So
Yeah. And Deeds has a great channel. Anti, if you can drop his link, I found him, I think, through Steve Harloa also, actually. And then have gone over, he does a lot of karaoke streams and has a lot of artists coming up on panel and stuff too. And it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Deeds.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, Mr. Smith, do you want to play again? I don't.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just.
Yeah.
If you're okay
Definitely.
with that. All right. Fantastic. Hey, good to see you, Pookie Ann.
I noticed a comment in the chat from Sip as well, saying about playing some Nightwish. Interesting proposition, Sip. I'll have a look at something some point in the future.
Nice.
See what I can do. But for now, I'm going to play a Beatles cover. And it's called Eleanor Rigby.
Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All these lonely people. Where do they all belong? Look at all the lonely people. Look at all of these lonely people. Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near. Look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? Yeah, all of these lonely people. Where do they all belong? Look at all the lonely people. Look at all of these lonely people. Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came. Father Mackenzie wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved. All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? Yeah, all of these lonely people. Where do they all belong? Look at all the lonely people. Look at all of these lonely people. Ooh, Lord, look at all these lonely people. Look at all of these lonely people.
There you go.
That
Some
was
Beatles.
wonderful. Thank you.
What a great song.
Yeah, it is a great song, and you perform it really well. Thank you, Anti, for posting Deed's link there. Yeah, that was amazing.
I had
Have
a
I
lot of fun
mentioned-
doing that.
Have I mentioned that I could listen to you play forever? Because I'm pretty
Oh
sure I
no! Tell me again. What was that?
right? And I don't think
we
I'm
should-
the only one.
we should really let Clay play as well, though. You know, it's not really fair, is it?
We
Well,
have
to be fair, I say the same thing to Clay, so.
Well, this is going to be my last one anyway because I got to get set up
All
and get
right.
ready to go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Clay. I know you're so busy, and I really
Absolutely.
do appreciate you coming and hanging out. and playing
Anytime,
for us.
anytime I have a free minute, I'll come and hang out with you guys.
Fantastic. Love it.
All right, this is a power ballad. It's a backing track in B minor. It comes from a channel called YT Jam Tracks. I really dig it.
Look
Something like that.
That was amazing play. Yeah, I was already like fully loving it, and then I'm not musical to say when it was, but there was a point where it was like you just amped it up again, and I was like, "What?" Like just blown away. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks everybody in chat. I appreciate all the compliments.
Yeah, everybody was loving it.
All right, I got to go get set up for my show. It starts in 25 minutes. So.
Yes, thank you so much again for coming
You
up and
bet.
for all that you do. Love you, Clay,
Anytime.
and I'll be over there, and it's an hour, right? So I'll see you then.
All right, anytime, Indy, anytime.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See y'all. Thank you.
See you later, Clay.
All right. Yeah, please make sure that you're subbed to Clay's channel, Conspiracy Music. Anti's been dropping all the links. Also, you know, I think I missed it, but 15th, let's see. I know you guys probably saw it in there, but 15th Bend was flying by. Here we go. Make sure you're subbed to 15th. And Mr. Smith and Dom and all the other amazing musicians that are here. It's fantastic.
They are.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Smith, 15th and I have a request, if that's okay.
Okay,
Would you play Safe and Warm?
of course.
Hey, Moonchild, good to see you. Thanks for being here. And Watchman, I also wanted to see if you're able to come up and play. I'd love for you to come up too. Yeah, I know, right, Bran? I've gone back and listened now several times to a few of the songs. For those of you who missed it, Dom Terragrosa, how do you say his last name, Smith? I'm going to butcher it.
Torregrossa.
There we go. Thank you. He was up and did an amazing song about his dad, a tribute to his dad that just got me like
Oh, yeah.
bawling. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was amazing, wasn't it? Oh,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
But I've just been blown away by how many people have come up and shared their gifts with us, and I'm thankful for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That makes
15
me
does have a channel. It's incredible, incredible. And he does live streams also and shares other people's music and his own, and it's really great. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Camperman. I'll see you there.
15th Bend, he's doing the solo on this as well, Safe and Warm.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You'll hear. All right, thank you for playing that.
No problem.
All right.
15th Bend, good to see you as well. How you doing, buddy? If it's okay as well, I'll play the return straight after this, if it's all right.
Yeah, great. Yep.
Yeah,
You can,
I'll just
yep,
play
go
the two.
for
I'll
it.
just play the two tracks. Yeah,
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks.
we'll have a 15th Bend special. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. This is Safe and Warm first.
Hold back the day and make the night go on forever. Hold back the morning blues and keep me next to you. Hold back the day. This might not last forever, but that's a chance I'll take. If you hold back the day, don't let the night end, or the feelings disappear. Hold back the morning and keep me here. When I'm here holding you, I want this moment to last forever. Here holding you in that safe warm
I'm just looking for this this track. It's escaped me at the minute for some reason.
Yep, no problem. Actually, I'm gonna
Warren.
really quickly, if you don't mind, can I bring Warren's waiting in the backstage? Can I bring him up real quick?
Do it. Yeah, do it,
All right.
please.
Perfect, fantastic. Warren, thanks for being here.
Hey, I'm just sitting out. I'm sitting out here under the shed with all my
Nice.
junk.
That's a true shed. I like it.
Yeah,
And Mr.
got
Smith,
me.
that was amazing, by the way. Thank you. And 15th, you're cracking me up in chat because he's, he did his own like masterpiece in the middle of that. But yeah, it's wonderful to have you guys,
Thank you.
sharing your music and gifts with us. Warren, you think you're up for playing in a little bit too?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I'm just sitting out there just chilling out, and I seen y'all was up. And I said, hey, I at least got to go play. Hey,
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, I love when you play the harmonica. And I went back and listened to the one you did about We're Stronger Together. Actually, do you mind if I make a short of that or use that for part of my
Go for it.
Okay.
Anything I do on YouTube is free. I don't tell you that.
Thank you. I just love it. I love absolutely love it. Debos, thanks for being here. Appreciate that you came over. It's good to see you.
Yeah, well, my audio won't be as good tonight because I don't have my little fancy earbuds with me. It ain't nothing but me and the cell phone, the mosquitoes, and the shit out here.
Yeah.
I brought one harp. I got my little OG. I call it an OG. It's an MS series on it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Anti.
But now I seen y'all up. I said, hey, I got to at least go say hey because they enjoyed the hell out of it last time we was up.
Well, how's your week been? Are you looking forward to the weekend?
I'm already. It is already the weekend for me. It's Friday evening.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I pretty much came to this pretty soon after work, so it's a great way to kick off the weekend for me. That's for sure. Yep. Yeah.
Good to see you, Warren.
I spent the evening with one of my close YouTube friends.
Mm-hmm.
We came over and we had a little fun.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. It's always good to get together with friends. Yeah, I was saying earlier we've had some of our nicest weather. I'm in the Seattle area, and we've had some of our nicest weather today. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be even like up in the 80s, which it hasn't hit, since last year. So I'm pretty excited to get outside and do something. Maybe at the beach. What was that?
What state are you in?
I'm in Washington State. I'm near Seattle.
Oh, good Lord, yeah, it's about time y'all get some good weather. It's been terrible up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually, where I am, it hasn't been too awful, but it's just been cold. It's just been the, kind of what people think of stereotypically of Seattle, gray and drizzly and, kind of, I don't know. Plus there's whatever they're spraying in our skies is just like horrific. We had blue skies the other day for the first time in as long as I can remember. So we'll just put it that way.
The mosquitoes is coming out and, oh yeah, it's getting to be the real southern summer,
Yeah.
right at the beginning of it. Excuse my camera, I'm holding it in my hand. So it's not as steady as it normally is because I'm just sitting here, just fiddling around.
You say you're visiting Seattle 15th? Or you remember visiting? Yeah, yeah. Well, if you come back this way, if anybody comes this way, you better let me know. But yeah. Yeah, it's actually, I don't know. I think we get kind of a bad rap for weather. It's usually not that bad, but this has been a long end of winter type feel.
I'll message you our clouds after the storm that came through a while ago. Never seen anything like them.
Yeah. Well, I would love to see that. Thank you, Anti, for dropping links. As always, you're appreciated.
We had some great weather today.
Dan.
I mean, it was overcast part of the day. It was sunny part of the day. Wasn't too awful hot. I think it got up to maybe 70, 77 at the most. It was just nice. It was really nice today.
Yep. Yeah, that's still there, 15th. That one probably won't get taken down. One of the few.
What state are you in, Warren?
Warren, what state are you in?
Confusion? No, I'm just joking.
Right?
You ever been in a state of confusion? I have.
Every day.
Yeah. Especially
I'm
these
usually
days.
in a state of panic.
Yeah.
Never comes across that way, Mr. Smith. You seem very cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
Every now and then I get in that state of what they call duh. I go, duh? Huh? What? Or I should say, do what?
Yeah, I think there's a
Sometimes
museum.
I just look at them and go, do what?
Yeah. There's a museum called the actually now I think it's the Museum of Pop Culture, but it was called the EMP, and it's a really oddly shaped building that's kind of metallic, that's right in Seattle Center, and it's actually supposedly the design is supposed to look like a kind of like acid trip version of Jimi Hendrix's smashed guitar.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's the museum. Yeah, that's the museum I think you're talking about. Yeah. All right, Mr. Smith, are you ready to play?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like the way
All
you say
right.
it. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then Warren.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let me get you up on solo
I'm
here.
gonna get up and listen to this absolutely master craftsman of the percussion skins.
Thanks, Warren. Such a
right.
master craftsman that when I played this on my stream the other night, for some reason, I'd moved the click track and the click track wasn't quite in sync with it. And I listened back to the stream later and I was just mortified because 15th bend, this wasn't very tight. It was out of sync. So I'm going to put that right now. This is going to be right.
Everybody stops listening to the click track and they're just listening to you. They don't pay it no mind. At least that's what I did.
Thanks, Warren. Bless you, man. All right, so this is 15th Bend and Hetriani, The Return.
Wonderful. Oh,
Hello.
come on. That was amazing.
Awesome.
That was amazing.
It's such a good track, isn't it? How good are those guys?
All of you.
I get to
Incredible.
play with them as well. It's just stunning. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we all love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
good
you.
play. No doubt.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you
Are you
so
go-
much for
Are you
coming
going to
up,
play,
Mr.
Warren,
Smith.
as well? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Indy. No problem. But I'm to be honest, I'm waiting to hear Warren play now, because
Oh, yeah.
that song that you were talking about, Stronger Together thing, that was one of the best things I've ever seen on YouTube.
Right? I thought it was phenomenal. I loved it. Yeah, Warren, every time you play, I just smile and I love what you do.
Yeah, and I'm getting better at playing it with my nose. I've only been doing that a couple of weeks. And it's really good. I was starting to
Mr.
get
Smith,
the
did that come out your nose?
Warren, I nearly choked to death then. Stop it.
Everybody told me that's impossible. You can't do it, and then they go, "Wait a minute, you can. You crazy guy."
I love it.
That's why I started putting a crazy harmonica player up for my screen title.
Right.
And another thing that a lot of people have really they've commented me on it, and uh, several of the well-known players have said, "You did explain how you do that, but I can't get it. I just can't figure it out." And I'm talking about some of the higher up names too, like John Beckley Morris, very damn good player. He's like, "That's amazing." He just said, I just don't get it. He said, "You did explain it and explained it very well." He said, "I just can't do it." But anyways, what would y'all like to hear? I'll play you a little something.
Mr. Smith, Warren likes to get like a phrase or an idea from people and then play based on that. Would you like to give a suggestion? Oh, you're muted, Mr. Smith.
It will all be okay.
Oh, love it. Love it.
What did you say?
I said it will all be okay.
That's funny because I wrote a song way, way back. It's not a complete song, but it's kind of to the same connotation. So I'm going to add that in there and throw a little more in with it. Went out the driveway this morning. The car was broke down. And you really, really wanted to go uptown. I was sitting right there in the shack, and I heard you crying as you was walking by. I said, "Don't worry, baby. It's gonna be all right. I think I can fix this. Make it right. Don't worry, baby. It's gonna be all right. We will not be in time. Soon as I make this whole girl out here." I went out and I lifted the hood. Had to prop it up with a piece of wood. Looked down at the carburetor. I found that throttle cable done come loose. So I hooked it back up with an old piece of barbed wire. Then fired up. And then I looked at the back end, and we had a flat tire. About 30 minutes later, after the old compressor got right, and I done had a couple of shots of whiskey, and I was getting a little tired. And we headed off to town, and done what we had to do. Brought you back home and made sweet love to you. Well, baby, it's gonna be alright. There's a full moon out tonight. It's this old country life like that that I love. We give that city life a great big so don't worry, baby. It'll be all right. Something like that.
Nice.
That's
Warren,
what I'm talking about.
You are a treasure. That's fantastic.
That was great.
I love it.
I need to get me a good old cassette recorder or something to put behind me so I can just start recording all these originals. 'Cause good Lord, it must be worth 600. And people say, why don't you play that certain one? I'm going like, sing me a bar of it and I'll see if I remember it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing that with us. I love when you come up and play.
No problem. I enjoy doing that. That's
Okay.
what I do.
15th bend, I have to ask. I'll see what this is, but what's a hurdy-gurdy?
I saw that comment in the chat. You're a funny guy, 15th bend.
Who's gonna be the one to have to explain it to Indy?
A hurdy-gurdy, it's a little bit, imagine it's a violin that you wind up, and instead of bowing it plays the strings with a little circular thing that plays the strings, and you fret the strings with the other hand. Yeah, it's got a beautiful sound to it.
Look
But
like
you have to keep turning the handle on it when you're playing it.
All right, so inquiring minds want to know, Mr. Smith, can you play?
I have played one, yes.
Perfect.
You know what I want to play, but I have not had the chance yet to do it.
That's
I want to
fantastic.
play the bagpipe. I think I can do it. I mean, the harmonica is
That's cool.
similar.
Warren,
but
you might.
the
Oh, I'm sorry, Warren. You might be interested in this. Duck said that her cousin plays the harmonica and is doing a tribute show tomorrow night for the celebration for Willie Nelson. And it's in her community page, which, if you're able to drop that, that'd be great.
What's the channel name?
Ducks for You. And I think he'll drop that link, and then I can grab it and put it in the private chat for you, Warren, so you can check it out.
Or just drop it on my email. What
Right,
you know
can you
what
put
it
it
is. FloydWarren666gmail.com.
All right. Be careful giving that out to everybody. I have to say, everybody makes your own
Google
decision.
gave me that number, by the way. But I kept it because I said I'll never forget that one.
Yeah. JM, thanks for coming by. I appreciate you being here always.
Warren?
Hey, Wingnut.
Hey, Wingnut's here. I used to talk to him on the radio years ago.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we wound up meeting each other back on YouTube 10 years later.
Oh, that's funny. I had no idea you guys had any connection. That's fantastic. I love Wingnut.
Anarchy
Are
Television.
you subbed to his channel? Do you still
Huh?
catch him?
I've caught him on his channel, which is Anarchy Television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I know
great.
Wingnut. Yeah. We talked, I don't know how many times on the 11 meter, as they call it, or CB sideband. I I used to be known as 1099 somewhere amongst the Sumter Lee County line. The Spiker is live tonight.
15th is cracking up that you knew how to play it, Mr. Smith.
Oh, I'm watching it go by. I'm watching it. It's funny. Mind you, 15
Right?
Ben. Listen. I might, it might sound amazing and all that stuff, but at times in the studio as well, I've been stamping on an old cardboard box to get a sound. So sometimes musical instruments are not all that much. So I've had to play everything over the years, rattling rice in tins and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still like the idea of playing the bagpipes. I want to try it, but I've never had a chance.
I've never tried bagpipes.
with the dobro slide. I played with the electric 6-string slide. I've also played bass with a slide, but I haven't had. I messed around with the piano a little bit, but I haven't had a chance to try the bagpipes. I want to try them because the way you play them is similar to a harmonica, but you play them with your fingers.
Mhm.
All you're doing with your breath is keeping the balloon filled, you know. So it's like having a 3-tier flute, I guess.
Yeah, well, Hugh Caldwell's just put in the chat, when do you want bagpipes on a track, Mr. Smith? Hugh, yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out rapidly.
I love the
And
sound of bagpipes.
I want to get me a decent little banjo and see if I can't learn to play it, because I love the way they sound.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I just love it. Love that banjo sound. I started playing
Indeed.
harmonica because I loved the way it sounded, and that was way back when I was 13 years old.
Mhm.
And then I messed with it for about a year, and then I just kind of laid it down. I got too much interested in building high performance engines and working on carburetors and yada yada yada. And then when I
Yeah.
turned about 22, I started chasing women around, and that took up my time for a while. Then I got into drag racing, and that took up 3 or 4 years. And then I got into tree climbing and making money that way, and yada yada yada. And then after the first proceedings of my divorce, I picked the harmonica back up, and I ain't put it down since.
Yeah. Sip, thank you for being here. I just saw that you're taking off. I really appreciate you coming by. And if you ever are able to come up on panel, I'd love to get to know you better. Bran says that his brother put together a bagpipes playlist on Spotify. That's fantastic. That just would make my life better. I feel like, Bran, you might have to send me that link.
Oh, I love bagpipes. There's two little gals that play them. Oh my God, they're good. I can't remember the channel name, but it just happened to pop up in my little, what I call the mainstream feed, where the stuff just pops up. And I didn't think to save their spot, and I ain't found them yet again. It's 2 young girls. They're like
Awesome,
7.
Bran. Thank you.
I think they're sisters. They're like
Yeah.
17. There's 2 of them. They can.
Are
play.
they not called something maidens? Maiden. I'm sure I know what you mean, Warren. I'm sure the name's got maiden in it.
I mean, they do the bagpipes justice like the harp twins do the harps justice. And I'm sure you know what I mean when I say harp twins.
I don't, but I'm going to look them up. I'm sure I'd enjoy them.
Look them up. They can play anything on the harps.
Yeah. They have a channel. Their channel is called the Harp Twins.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll definitely look for them.
They're freaking huge. They got like 3 million subscribers.
Great. Yeah, that's
Over
great.
5 billion views.
Well, I'm looking at the time, and I know we're getting close to sending everybody over to Clay's stream tonight. Mr. Smith and Warren, are you each willing to play maybe one more song?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Warren, you want to go
let
ahead and go next, and then
because
Mr.
that was
Smith
the
can
last
close us
one to
out?
go. So let him go, and I'll close us out.
Oh, okay. We can do it that way too. Fantastic. All right, Mr. Smith.
I mean, we would play together, but I know how StreamYard is. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna line.
Nah, it gets pretty wonky.
I
All
can
right. Well,
try.
Mr. Smith, there's a request if you're able to play acrobats, if you're set up for that. But
Not
if
yet.
not, okay.
Not yet. I am working
All
on that. Excuse me.
So-
I've tried to, but I've not got it sorted yet. I will do it, Anti. I will get it sorted soon. I promise you.
All right. Well, what's up next then?
Okay, this is something that Warren might be interested in playing over. It's just an instrumental piece. It's by the Methods and Hamsters, and it's called Country. So, Warren, you
right.
might want to play over this. You might enjoy it, mate. And Indy, thanks for having me on as well. Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're always welcome, and I really do appreciate you coming up and sharing your hard-earned gifts with us.
All right, it's a lovely space to do it in. Thank you very much.
Mhm. That is a really beautiful, beautiful song. So is Methadone Hamsters, is that a band that you were in the past or are in now? What's are you connected
Okay,
with them
yeah,
or you play? Yeah, go ahead. You
yeah.
explain.
It's a studio project that I have. It's myself and a bass player and a guitarist, and we
Mm-hmm.
basically just write instrumental music for our own pleasure.
All right.
Hey,
But
I like it.
we've been
I
doing
like
it. We've been doing it for
that.
quite a while, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially
this is the first time in the last few months that we've decided to put anything out. And then
Yeah.
we are going to live stream some rehearsals as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, it sounds amazing, and I really like it. Hugh
Thank you.
Caldwell said he would love to play slide guitar over that one.
Absolutely. Hugh, the lead guitar track, incidentally, that's on that track is our guitarist that we used to have from way back when. I've just put it on for some kind of melody to play to on here. I would love to get your guitar track over this, so I will send you the track without the lead guitar. I'll sort it out this week for you, buddy. All right.
Awesome. I love all the collaborations that happen. I just love it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
me
great. I
too.
mean, there's some magic happening
Yeah,
on
it's
YouTube
lovely, isn't
these
it?
days. Yeah,
It's
it's
lovely.
really, I mean, really, yeah, I just can't say enough how much, and I know for me, it's just so uplifting and soothing and like, there's just something to music that really does, it's universal and it has that effect, I think, on many people. So it's important what you guys are all doing.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah.
And well, the same with you though as well, because you've given people a space to talk about things that are, well, the rest of the world's quietly trying to remove on the quiet. So, well done. Bless you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. I'm just glad to be able to be here and that there's so many amazing people I've gotten to know, including you and Warren and
Bless you, Lindy.
Bonnie and
Yeah, I'm the
everybody
same.
here in chat. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. Well,
Mhm.
thanks for letting me on as well tonight. And I'm going to shoot off and get ready for the next one that I'm going to
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And I will see you in here or in another chat soon.
Yeah, okay. And everybody in the chat, thank you very much for all your comments. Warren, lovely to be on stage with you again, mate. Bless you, brother. Bonnie, I don't know whether you're still there, but thanks very much. And big up to Clay. And I'll see you all soon.
Mhm. All right. Take care, Mr. Smith. Thanks again. God bless. All right.
Well,
Well,
we'll do
Warren.
with you, Mr. Smith, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right. What we gonna do?
Yeah. You up for one more song, Warren, before we close this out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll do the trail out if you like.
What was that? Sorry, you'll do what was that?
I said I'll do the trail out if you like. What you got in mind? If not, I'll just come up with something.
Yeah. Come up with something for us, Warren. Play from your heart.
Okay. I'm just looking around the shed here. I got something. I'm looking over there and I see that old log chain laying there. So there we go. I thought I was free, but I got this damn chain holding me. If you sure look right, but I got this damn chain holding me. Feel like I'm locked to a damn oak tree. I think I got a chain. It's holding me. Don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Physically, the chain ain't there. Physically, there ain't no tree. But it feels like there's a chain holding me. I hope you can understand what I'm saying to you. A mental chain can be more holding than a physical one, you see. Like a little child that was raised up with nothing, had to struggle and work for everything that he got. Soon as he starts to get ahead, somebody better off takes a little of what he got. Like that mental chain is holding him, you see. There's only one person that can set you right free. It's got to be in your soul to dig your way right back up out of that hole. Tell the world to kiss your ass. We're gonna leave that chain in the past. For the human spirit is a powerful thing. They might think they broke it, but they don't know a thing. Look at all these people from a long time ago. All they know was an old garden hose. Out there hoeing cotton, just to have a place to stay. Some of them were there until their dying day. All the old coal miners down under the earth, old pick and a shovel, that old coal they did unearth. Really got to see the light of day. But they finally, some of them, got to come out and play. I'm talking about the legend of the old blues. From the mountains all the way down to Louisiana too. I'm talking about the old line, living on the chain. Whether it be physical or mental, it's all the same. So God bless all the strong people that made their way through and sang the blues for me and you. I hope that was a good trail out for you.
Warren, that was fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful and a
It
great
was.
message too. I feel like you were taking us to church there, Warren.
Well, that and just trying to take you on a little mental journey of what
I
a
love
lot of
it.
people been through, what I've been through. I've been
Yeah.
through a lot of crap.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. Camperman said, like playing off the old country porch with barbecue cooking in the background and everyone around stomping their feet. Awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Well said, Camperman. Yeah,
That's
thank you, everybody, for coming by. This has been fantastic.
And I will come back. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Much love
Warren,
to
thank you
everybody.
so much.
Everybody, of course, I can't see the chat. I got a stupid
Oh, they're all
phone.
loving you, Warren.
But I appreciate each and every one of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate you too, Warren. Thank you for coming up and just being you.
God bless you. Thank you.
That's me. I'm always me. Sometimes I might be about half lit and cut a little more fool than other times, and sometimes I might be
Love the
kind of
best.
serious. It's just me.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, we only have about 8 minutes until Clay is going to be going live over on his channel. Anti has dropped the link. I hope to see a bunch of you over, or I'd love to see all of you over there. And then Steve, I saw that. I will get back to you. I'll go check it soon.
Yeah,
Thank you
I got
again.
to go in I got to go in and change batteries because I'm down to about 17%. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm
Yeah.
gonna do any more than that, I'm gonna have to go in and change the batteries, and I'll put the Bluetooth earbuds in and all that stuff so I sound a little better. I realized that my audio is kind of crappy at night because the old phone's about wore out.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that, and I
Yeah.
apologize for it.
Well, it is a little harder to hear, but it's still you play from your soul, and that comes through loud and clear. So it sounded great, Warren. Thank you so much.
If I turn the mic up too high, it distorts. Everybody's told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on a mission for a mic after my crackling horrible mic last time. I was like so bummed about it. But yeah, so maybe I'll
But
be sounding better.
when I use the little Bluetooth headset, it seems to work really well. It cuts out a lot of the echoing and it's clear. Matter of fact, several panels I've been on, they had to go in and turn my mic volume down on their end because it was too hot.
Oh, yeah, I know. It gets funny sometimes. All right. Well, we better close out here so people have a chance to, get over to the next stream over at Clay's or wherever else you might be going. But
Look,
hopefully we'll see
Clay's
you at
cool. I'm subscribed to him, so I'll
yeah,
get a notification.
perfect. Yep. Yeah, he'll be live in about 5 minutes. So thank you, Bonnie, for coming up on panel with me. Thank you, Warren, again. Thank you to everybody who came up tonight and to everybody in the chat. I just, I can't say how much I appreciate this whole community. And I especially love that we're kind of, merging different networks of people, and
Yes.
it's all great people. And, it just gives me personally, I'll just speak for myself. It gives me a lot of hope because there's just something so uplifting about us bucking the system by connecting when they're trying to divide. And so thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy, for
hmm
bringing
And
us together and a great night.
all you got to do is say music to get me interested in it.
All right. Well, I'll keep hollering your way then, Warren. All right. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you at Clay's. God bless. And we're stronger together. Good night, everybody.
Amen. Good night.